Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. If you don't know me, my name is Duhamel Bentley, and today we have in the background Mr. Felipe.
Hi, how are you?
Bentley Juice. If you guys haven't seen the Bentley Juice video where I did the Melt Cosmetics Beetlejuice. Well, yeah, but it's Bentley Juice because I turn into Bentley Juice. Girl, if you know, you know, and if you don't, subscribe to the channel and watch that video. I'll link it down below so you know. Alright? Okay, so girl, in today's video, we are talking about Laura Mercier. We actually have never really brought this brand to the channel, have we?
Which one?
Laura Mercier.
I don't think so.
No, actually, didn't we do a foundation review like years ago?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, just maybe. If we can find it, girl, we'll link it down below. And if we can't find it, subscribe to the channel and do a little bit of research, honey. You might find it yourself. All right, so what we're going to be talking about in particular is their latest launch, which is the Secret Camouflage Brightening and Correcting Duo. The shade that I have here is 1N. They have actually 16 shades, which is quite lovely because definitely a little bit of everybody is covered. This is the corrector side here. As you can see, it's a lovely little kind of stick, which is very nice because it's oil-free, so it's going to be a very rich formula. It's not going to crease on you. It's not going to go too crazy. And then this other side here is the brightening side. All right, so looking at them here, very cute. Love the shades. As you can see here, very, very full coverage, very creamy. And I really like the fact that these guys are kind of like one and go. I enjoy that a lot. Huda Beauty does this a lot too with like her liner. She does that as well with her mascara, like 2-in-1. I honestly really do enjoy this type of packaging. This concealer in particular is $32, which is pretty standard. I think this is a pretty good value to having both, you know, the contour, in this case, the brightening, which would be, you know, kind of like the contour for expansion, and the regular correction, which is really, really nice. A couple of things before I start working with this, because I want to do a little story time today. I had some notes, and a really cool thing about this formula is that it's infused with brightening pearls. It has lotus flower extracts, which is very calming to the skin. A lot of the times, a lot of people get irritated here or very dry. This will really help smooth and kind of soften things out, especially if your eyes are a little bit sensitive. This might be a really great product for you. And I mean, $32 is not a bad price point. It's definitely a little bit higher than a lot of the market, you know, concealers out there. But for example, if you give me this, or if you give me the NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer, which we actually did a review on, I'll link that below as well, I would choose this one from the times that I've tried it. I think it works really well. So, I mean, overall, it's hydrating, very nice pigment. So let's get started with this. So in Felipe's video, if you guys haven't seen that video, I will link it down below. We started a conversation, and I'm going to be starting to prepare my skin. I'm going to go in with the Huda Beauty Jelly Primer, and then I'm going to go in with the Hyper Real Foundation Tint. This is kind of like a really nice glow for the skin from MAC. I really do enjoy MAC products, but in Felipe's video, it was really interesting because we started talking about moving,
our Florida experience,
and our Florida experiences, which is one of our most recent locations where we were in. And we started discussing about how we had a lot of different experiences there, as you would in other places, but we started discussing that it's not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everywhere is for everybody. And we're definitely California girls. It is what it is. Katy Perry, have you subscribed to the channel, girl? What's good? You know, we just enjoy the vibe. We enjoy the atmosphere. We enjoy the, you know, the in general flow of things in California compared to, let's say, for example, the East Coast in this case, or the Midwest, which we actually lived in as well. I don't know what we were doing, girl, but we did it, and we can talk about it now. So, what did you feel, Mr. Felipe, about the experience of living in Florida? Like, what was the vibe for you?
You know, to me, when I first arrived, I want to say that I felt like it was gonna be very relaxing, very chill. But overall, my experience or the vibe there, I think it was very okay.
I remember at first you were a little nervous thinking that.
There were gonna be snakes everywhere. It was so uncomfortable. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like every time, like you see these crazy videos about alligators, snakes.
I mean, look, it's literally the most dangerous place we've lived in reality.
Yeah.
With all of like the nature, all of the bugs, like it was the craziest place we've ever
They have a
lived
lot of
in.
mosquitoes. They have a lot of sharks, alligators, snakes. Oh my gosh, they have it. They have everything. It was a very learning experience for me. I experienced a lot of health issues there. First off, I started having a lot of, if you know, you know, a lot of diarrhea. Because
The water
was horrible. Oh my gosh. We started drinking water, like tap water, because the sister said, no, drink the water.
It builds your calcium.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it definitely didn't build any calcium. Or
It's
anything.
wild. The water over there, guys. Number one in steaks. Horrible. Sorry, Floridians, but not sorry. It's horrible. And our stomachs were like turned up. Like you couldn't even cook. We started buying filters. We started buying bottle gallons because we couldn't handle it at all.
Yeah, and the second experience I had there, I had my appendix removed. I don't know what it was. I don't know. It was pressure.
Which we never had those types of issues ever anywhere we would go.
Never. And so overall, my experience with jobs too, I think it's funny to think about it right now because I applied to several jobs, and now that I'm in California now, I have received calls from places that I applied 2 years ago when I first moved to Florida. It's like, come on, it's just too late for me right now. Like when you go over there to Florida, you have the better expectations. And a lot of let me correct that. A lot of East Siders, they say, they prefer Jacksonville or they prefer Miami and they prefer, what's the other part, the other side?
Tampa?
But overall, I don't think it's that great for me. I think food-wise, it's really interesting. It's really nice. You get to indulge into a lot of different plates. And cultures are so much fun to learn. However, would I say that I would go back? I would go back to just
vacation, yeah.
Maybe once or twice in my lifetime, but I wouldn't just go back there.
I mean, honestly, listen, no shame in being like a Disney mega fan. I'm not a Disney mega fan. Yes, I've seen a lot of Disney movies, but girl, if you know a Disney mega fan, you know a Disney mega fan. And we're not mega fans. We really do enjoy the Disney environment, and I really do think that the theme park, specifically Disney World, was literally the best part of Florida for us. Like we had so much fun in such a positive, lighthearted manner. It was just so great. So if you ever have the opportunity to go, I'm using the Your Skin But Better CC Plus color correcting full coverage cream. It has anti-aging serums and hydrating serums. Love that. Just doing one pump because I'm going to mix it in with the Clinique Even Better Glow. We want to glow today, girl. J-Lo, whoo! I'm just saying. So, I don't know. I feel like with me,
Yes.
I spent some time in Florida when I was a younger child. California for me was always like a dream, a goal. I've always wanted to be part of, the entertainment industry. Like I was born. I don't need anybody to tell me how good I am. I know that I was born to, entertain, and I know that I was born to
All right.
to be a guide for different people. Like I know, like when you know. And girl, mama knows. So ever since I was a little boy, like it's just been like my obsession. California. If you don't know, I am born and raised Puerto Rican.
When was the first time you visited California?
So the first time that I visited California was
Let's spill the tea.
14.
Yeah.
Girl, when I tell you that I knew, I was obsessed with like pursuing my career in acting and pursuing my career in singing. I had a couple of auditions in Florida, and it was just not, it was very much so big fish in a small pond environment. And that's how I always felt, you know, within my family. That's how I always felt within just like my general life. So, you know, I decided that I wanted to move to California. I decided that Los Angeles was my home. Like, it was just like it. And when I had decided that, I spoke to my aunt, which I was living with at the time because I moved to Florida with my aunt. Very grateful for the opportunity. And I spoke to her and I said, listen, I have a dream. What is that? Is that what Billie Eilish says?
I had a dream.
Oh, yeah. Well, I had a dream, Martin Luther King vibes. And
your skin looks very glowing.
Thank you, honey.
Are you going to set it up?
I'm not done.
Okay.
Jayla,
What shade is that?
So this is going to. Oh no! I cleaned my stuff out. So the
I
shade.
think it's neutral, right?
I think it's neutral or beige. That's the kind of girl I am. I'm a neutral little beige girl. So, long story short, you know, my aunt said yes. We're moving to Florida. We're moving to California. Like, we just have to wait for us to finish a couple of English courses because I grew up in a private institution where,
You what?
yeah, you know, going to a private school with English as a first language in Puerto Rico, not as a second. So in the school system, when we were growing up, we were, let's say, for example, we were in 5th grade and we were already getting educated like 8th graders, but in English. So it was great education. Definitely English is not my first language. However, I can adopt my language as my first language. And I mean, it does help that I had a little background in acting because I can imitate an accent or two, if you know what I mean. So I was just like ready for it. You know, I said to her, okay, that totally makes sense. Like, you have to finish your course. Like, we can't just like run and move and just hop around. I get it. And she lied, you know, straight up. I'm not gonna extend the situation. I'm not exposing her. She lied. She told me she was gonna move, and you know, I told my mom. I was like, Mom, you know, I went to vacation because I would vacate every summer for 2 months in Puerto Rico, and I said, Mom, guess what, honey? Everybody goes to Hollywood. That was like me, right on the bus for it, girl. And it wasn't the vibe. Nobody was going to Hollywood in reality. But my mom's always like been a realist. Like, she's the type of person, she's like, no, I'm real as food, and it is what it is. And I said, no, I don't have any reason to believe why anybody would lie to me, especially like after having so much positive feedback from producers, you know, from Los Angeles that were coming over here. And because of financial reasons, I don't come from any kind of wealth, you know. I do come from health, thank God, but I don't come from any type of wealth. And you have to, you know, 110% produce to yourself and finance your own, you know, thing. Doesn't matter how much talent you have. Really, it doesn't matter at all. If you have money, girl, they'll make it happen. And if you have talent and you don't have money, good luck, honey. So that was kind of like the vibe that I was getting. I personally was devastated whenever I would hear like, yes, you have an opportunity. Like, we want you to meet with like producers. We want you to meet with like, you know, directors that will potentially feed you off into like a TV show or, you know, a network. And I was like, yes, like, this is what I've been working. This is what I've been dreaming about. Like, ever since I was a little kid, like I had those notes. I remember, girl, I would call Ellen DeGeneres' offices as a 14-year-old kid over and over and over again, asking to speak with her because I wanted to meet with her, sit down, speak some business. Girl, a 14-year-old kid doing that, it was just wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was wild. So at the time, I had, no money, but my mom and my grandmother and all these people were giving us like birthday gifts. And, mama's a little smart cookie, honey. She knows the way the cookie crumbles. And I know my aunt, she means well sometimes, but girls, when your aunt and your mom means well, but she's like smothering you and over controlling. That was my life. And I was just can't be tamed. I can't be tamed. Like that was my life, my rhythm, like my vibe. I'm sorry, but not sorry. And when I figured out that they were lying to me, I said, well, what do I do? Like I know what I want, and I feel like I'm waiting for something that I can do, and like there's nothing, right? So little old me decided that, I'm gonna make it happen. And I remember we were having a conversation at the table, and I was being grounded because, girl, I don't remember. But the point is that I was being grounded, and I wasn't enjoying it. I was like, no. And I said to my aunt, like, are we still moving? And she said, I'm not moving. If you want to go, girl, you go. But I'm not moving. And I said, all right, girl, if you don't want to go, let me pack my bags.
How old were you?
14. I was mother effing 14 years old. Girl. So I made a plan. Listen, kids, do not try this at home. I would kill my child. I would literally like go nuts if my child would do this to me. So now as an adult, 27 years old, I understand the repercussions and I understand it, but it was wild. So I said, okay, you're not going, you're lying to me. Like, this is my dream, this is my goal. Like, I can help our family. I can financially elevate us. I can financially elevate me, meet my goals. Like, I can do this. Like, I knew I could do this. There was not a doubt, not a question. I was laser sharp into knowing that I was able to do this. I had not a doubt in my mind. And I don't know, girl, I'm forgetting about this foundation. How's this looking?
It's looking really nice.
So I will say this, all of this glow, girl, is cute, but she's focusing the texture. I'm not a big fan of that, but she's looking cute from far away. What do you think, girl? Can you see that texture, extra sauce? Okay, all right. So my skin is a little dehydrated, so please keep that in mind. That's why I'm kind of giving it an extra bit of glow, because she needs it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now that I have the foundation, I need a setting powder.
What are you using right now?
Ooh, girl. So I'm using the Maven Beauty Rose Water Setting Spray. I heard this is iconic. I haven't tried it till today. But girl, let's continue with the focus because here is our girl. So here we have the corrector side. Opening that up. Boom, boom, boom. So as I'm applying it, I'm going to continue to tell you what happened. So I'm a very honest, very upfront person. Like it's just like my curse. Honestly, like I feel like it is my curse because not everybody likes, to be confronted, and not everybody likes to have kind of like the truth. But it is what it is. We're dealing with it. Again, this is the corrector side, so I like to apply a little bit right here, just so I'm opening her up and then extending, just so I look a little bit younger, So from there, I remember my birthday was coming. Was it my birthday? No, I'm lying. It was Christmas. Christmas was coming, and my grandmother would always give me $100. She passed away recently. May she rest in peace. And I remember, that I told my mom, I was like, Mom, listen, like, I'm being controlled. I need you to send me that money in a debit card because I'm just not going to see the money. And that was the truth, though. That was the truth. I was 100% controlled. And even though I was a very young child at the time, I had experiences that I was able to be mature enough for as a young child within my finances and just decision making overall. So at that point, my mom had sent me that, and I was looking for work because I was moving to California. Like, I was not letting anybody stop me from my goals, from my dreams. Like, I was moving and nobody was telling me different, right? So remember, at this point in time, I'm 14. I'm in like 9th grade, I think. I don't even remember. And of course, I had friends that I was telling them my goals, and I was such a huge fan of Hannah Montana. And not because of like, life's what you make it. No. I saw myself in that, and I said to myself, you can do that. You can do, that. You can create that entertainment. You can create that hope for someone that's watching you, right? So when I fell in love with the idea, because that's really what it was. I fell in love with the idea of being this this kid that was going to take over the world and that was going to be successful and financially, stable, to be able to help his family and to do his craft and do what he loved and lived his best life. I fell in love with that idea. But the problem was that I was a very protective child. When I say that, I mean like I was bullied for a very, very long period of my life. I never really exposed myself to anything or anybody. Like it is what it is. I was very close-minded in many, many aspects. And sure, you see me here doing makeup now, but if you ask if you ask Duhamel Quiñones, not Bentley, if you ask Duhamel Quiñones when he was like 20, he would have never thought he would be sitting here. You know what I'm saying? But here we are with Duhamel Bentley. Hi. That's just the truth. So I became obsessed with this dream year idea. I would collect every single penny from the floor because I thought it was good luck. Girl, I know what is that word called? When you're a person that believes in like superstitious. Girl, I'm superstitious. Although I tried stepping on a couple of cracks, if you know what I mean, but nothing happened. I'm kidding. Do you know what that means?
No.
Don't step on a crack, you'll break your mother's back.
No.
It's a superstition. Like going underneath like
I think I've seen it.
a staircase or breaking a mirror.
Yeah.
Girl, the black cats. Girl! I'm not gonna lie, I did avoid them. It is what it is. So my mom sent me that money. I even tried looking for work in a strip club. I'm not even joking, you guys. I wasn't thinking of stripping. I mean, I would have if I had to. That's just the reality of the case.
That's fine.
Can you imagine a 14-year-old headlining like, ooh, put dirty on, Christina Aguilera, oh, cut it through? I would have done it, and I would have done it right. You know what I'm saying? So, I wanted to serve the drinks. I did.
And you wouldn't encourage it at this moment too?
No. Listen, don't try this at home. This is just for entertainment purposes at this point in time, honey.
Yeah.
Do not try this at home. I'll tell you, there's an end story to this. So, I went into, 14 years old, I went into this strip club in the morning. And, I tried to zhuzh myself up to look older. Girl, let my little beard hair grow. I'm hairy AF. It's part of my life, right? Hi, trimmers. How are ya? So, I went into the strip club and I said to the guy, I was like, I need to talk to the boss. I literally thought to myself, and I started thinking, playing my video games, right? And I said, how does a thug speak, right? Like a person who lives on the street. Girl, I know, I'm a mess. And I went to the guy, the bouncer, and I said, I need to speak to the boss, right? So he leads me upstairs and, I'm like, excuse me. Of course, when I get to the boss, all that thug went out the door and I was like, excuse me, can I get an application? I want to, serve some drinks, get some tips. The mess was real. So I filled out my application. I never ended up giving it in because, 14 years old in a strip club, that just didn't make sense. But it was the closest thing to my house. I promise you, Florida is just really strange. I lived in a very family-oriented location, but that strip club was literally next to a Kentucky Fried Chicken and a shopping mall. It is what it is. Hi, Floridians. How you doing? So, girl, here I'm highlighting. I'm highlighting now because, you know, we're just pounding up the makeup. It is what it is. It's one of those videos. We're going nuts.
Yes.
We're using the product. Good morning, America, UK, London, wherever you're watching from. Good morning. So we have applied, you know, the little highlight moment, the little coverage moment. As you can see here, coverage looks really, really natural, very nicely, full, but not like heavy or cakey, and very creamy as well. Let me blend the brightening so we can kind of see how that looks. And while I'm blending,
Tell them more about what happened after you went to the club. And you got to apply to the strip club or something.
yeah.
What else happened?
Nothing happened. I did not submit my application, as I mentioned. I did see a couple of boobs, which, you know, honey, you know, nothing new to me. Like, hello, I grew up in a household filled with women, and we are very open, yeah.
But going back to LA, then what else did you do?
Girl, she's retracking me.
Yes.
Right.
I want to hear the whole story. I want them to hear.
He's never heard the story. Have you heard the story?
Yeah, I think so.
Girl, I don't know if you have though. So the debit card came. It had like $300, you guys. I'm not even kidding. Maybe like 200, because my mom had given me 100, and my grandmother had given me 100 too.
You're rich, Jenny.
I was 14-year-olds. What? So yes, it was what it was. I definitely was swimming in $200 at 14 years old with my debit card. So I would get off of my school bus and I would walk to the nearest ATM.
Yes.
And I submitted this plan to myself and I said, okay, so this is what we're doing. I wanted to make my success happen like nobody's business.
Yes.
That was just it. I was obsessed. And that's just not okay, right? That's not okay to do that. As a 14-year-old, again, if I had a child that would do that, I would be devastated.
Why?
Because the dangers of the outside world.
Yeah.
But I will say this as well: I wouldn't have lied to my child. That's just cruel and unnecessary. It is what it is. Sorry, but not sorry. All right, so now that everything is blended thoroughly, like it just kind of like seeps into the skin very beautifully, I'm gonna go in with the Fenty Beauty Butter Shade Pro Filter Powder. I actually have never used this.
Which we're excited about.
I am, and I've heard so many good things about it. Honestly, Fenty Beauty has the most beautiful packaging. It's not even funny.
And then,
All right, so I'm just
my
gonna.
gosh, I'm so excited for you to tell us the story.
Thank you.
It's super fun and entertaining. And what else happened after all that?
So I got a friend to lend me her father's debit card.
You put the money inside of it.
No, girl, I had her pay it, and then I gave her the cash the next day in school. Kids are crazy. And I booked the flight, and I said,
gosh.
you know what?
No way.
It's now or never. I was obsessed also with Demi Lovato, and somehow, some way, thanks to Google, I found Demi Lovato's address and Miley Cyrus's
Really?
address.
Oh my gosh.
Which is so crazy because I didn't even know if they were the real addresses. And I just went on a dream, on a limb. I left.
Literally?
I made a plan, woke up at 5 a.m. in the morning. I knew what time my family was moving, leaving, doing their thing for work. And I said, you know what, it's either now or never.
That was a very, very dangerous thing.
It's wild. Yeah, it is wild. I wouldn't recommend you doing this.
You were like Keisha's song. Brightening. Isn't that what she sings?
That's praying though, but sure. So I will say this, definitely again, do not recommend this. It's extremely crazy, it's extremely wild. I never knew of the dangers of Los Angeles City. I never knew of the reality of it all. I was just going based off of dreams and ignorance. That's all I was going on.
Things that normally you would see on a daily basis on TV. And no one is to blame you. a lot of the times people are not fathers, parents. I'm not 100% concerned what their children are watching. And to be honest, no one is blaming you now that you're a grown-up person. I wouldn't blame you to be somebody who was looking for stardom, right?
Honey, I'm not looking for stardom. The star is already here. I'm just looking for the opportunities and the queen, if you know what I'm talking about. But I arrived to Los Angeles, girl, when that plane was leaving Florida. I was freaking out. I was like, I cannot believe I'm doing this. Like, I cannot believe this is my reality. Like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I remember that was literally what I was thinking. I was like, holy, wow. Like, there was just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, I was just shooketh. And, isn't it funny how you look at people and you can never tell their stories, right? Just by looking at them.
I would never think that about you.
I know, neither would I. But here I am. So I wasn't hiding it.
Here you are, using your beauty blender onto your face.
I am.
Right now.
Hi. And I wasn't hiding it either. You know, when I got to Los Angeles, I called my mom and I said, listen, Mom, I'm in Los Angeles. I'm here to, you know, do my thing, live my dreams. As Miley Cyrus would say, every single night, every single day, I wanna do my thing, I wanna do my thing. Excuse me, I sidetracked.
You're still a fan of Miley Cyrus.
I am, honey. And it was wild because at that time too, the song Party in the USA was, you know, out and alive and very much like, I'm always a sign person. Again, I'm just very,
like a zodiac sign.
I am, no, signs in general. Like, I felt like Florida was even saying goodbye to me. Everywhere I would look, it would look empty. It would look like lifeless. It would look.
Really?
Yes. I would see shirts
You
of.
were living in a movie, honey.
I was, honey. And I never got the check for it though. And, I would see signs everywhere. Just do it with Nike and girl. I was seeing it. Like, this was just my truth. All right. Excuse me, can I please get
Yes.
a bronzer?
Any bronzer that I want?
Sure, and a bronzer brush.
Okay.
So now I have set my skin. I've done a little bit of baking. Overall, I'm looking very Casper-y. Not my vibe usually. This foundation is not my favorite because of the shade. I feel like it's a little too light, a little too similar to my skin. I typically like to go for my neck match, and as you can see, it's like very, very neutral, very light compared to my neck. However, I'm very neutral, very light. It's just when I'm driving, I just prefer this shade for my face. But she's looking cute already.
I'm analyzing which one though. Right here, right now. Maybe we'll just go for some Mary Kay.
No, bring me the
Bring up my girls?
please. Well, hold on, because I want to continue the story in another video. Alright guys, so I will say this. This looks great. It feels really, really nice. I feel like overall, it's very affordable. Overall, it's a great experience. And I do want to let you know that I hope you enjoy this new kind of aspect to our videos. And we're going to continue this on the latest and greatest Sephora collections, Coach collaboration. So girl, go and catch me over there. Make sure you're subscribed and you're hitting the little thumbs up, the little notification.
And join the Doofit team, the Doofit family. Yes, honey.
And subscribe. It's binge watch, honey. You know what to think. Let's continue chatting on the next video because my face is set. Bye.